Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we return to the topic of cryptocurrencies, particularly some updates on Bitcoin, BitConnect, and the recent crashes in the crypto market. But don't worry too much. There's some good explanations for all of this. No need to panic like many new Bitcoin buyers are doing. People are really scrambling out there right now. But today we're going to put your mind at ease. Although there are many people who may be in trouble, it's not all of the cryptocurrency world. It's really only the BitConnect users who have gotten royally screwed this week. That company was revealed to be a bit of a Ponzi scheme, as it shut down this week, effectively nixing the accounts of all of its users. And there were many. People who invested in BitConnect are losing their money, faith, and some are even getting a little suicidal and threatening to take their lives. It's a really sad story with that company when you think about it, but don't worry too much. This doesn't affect everyone in the cryptocurrency market, not Bitcoin or Ethereum users or many of the major coins. Sure, it appears all the coins have dipped down a bit in value this week over this scare and also some other factors. In fact, almost all the coins have seen some sort of decline recently. Make no mistake, this BitConnect drama has spooked investors across all the crypto market. But that's not to say Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any of the other major coins are going to go anywhere. Most people money is safe for now, and I suspect the market will bounce back eventually. We're going to go over all this today and more, so let's jump right into it. But first, a word from today's sponsor, TradeGeniusAcademy.com. As many of you know, we've been covering Bitcoin and cryptocurrency here on the show since September, back when Bitcoin was trading at around $2,000. And today, just a few months later, Bitcoin is worth 5 times that at around 10,000. And that's after this week's crypto scares and crashes and the dips in the market. Bitcoin's still at 10 grand, so early investors are still enjoying big returns. You're welcome for that. I can't wait to see my cut in form of PayPal or Patreon donations. Just kidding, that was all you guys. You see, here at No Bullshit, we're not actually telling people to invest on this show. We're not saying buy this or buy that. No, that's not what the show's about here. That's not what we're doing with Bitcoin. We're just here to cover the sensation, tell the stories, and provide information about cryptocurrency and the phenomena. I went over all the basics in our first video if you haven't watched, and then we've gone over some of the updates and other stories over the past months. So if you're still interested and like what you see, or maybe you're just curious about possibly investing, TradeGeniusAcademy.com has you covered. They've got all the actionable information you need to get started in the cryptocurrency market. Their online courses are very thorough and very detailed, telling you everything you need to know to understand, buy, trade, and make money off of Bitcoin and other cryptos. There's also currently a winter sale going on at Trade Genius until the end of the month, so it's really a good time to get those courses bought and start learning. Trade Genius also has private chat rooms where users can talk with other investors and with the company's experts themselves. And these guys have years of not only cryptocurrency trading experience, but also with the stock market and bonds. They know everything. They're the best there is online. Trade Genius is the absolute best in the business, and in my opinion, everyone else out there is faking it. Trade Genius Academy is the real deal. Check out the link to their website below. And they also have regular videos on their new YouTube page, also listed below. So check out TradeGeniusAcademy.com. They'll help whip your financial portfolio into tip-top shape, and you could be rich like me. Okay, now back to today's Bitcoin stories. Starting with the biggest, the fall of BitConnect. BitConnect was a website that was heavily advertised throughout social media platforms, such as Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This website also allowed people to put their money into a trading robot, which supposedly was able to produce returns better than the average day trader. This trading robot at the beginning was making returns of about 1% daily, which others advertised to their friends. Friends put their money into BitConnect under the impression that the bot would make them money. Then they would convince others to join. Then when BitConnect had around $3 billion worth of capital, their website suddenly went down. They announced that they were shutting down their lending platform and any balances on the website would be refunded in a currency called BitConnect tokens. Now, BitConnect tokens were tied to the value of how the trading bot was doing, but since the trading bot had just been shut down or maybe never existed, BitConnect tokens effectively had no value. People started to realize this, so they sold off their shares, resulting in the value of BitConnect tokens dropping 90% in less than an hour. Many people unfortunately lost everything. Everything they put in the website was gone, and this caused mass selling of assets. In the end, the trading robot really never existed, and it was essentially a Ponzi scheme. And this entire BitConnect situation has not only caused its users to lose their money and confidence, some are even reportedly committing suicide. There's been some real dark stories going around online about this. Lots of anger and hostility that one could argue is kind of deserved. BitConnect scammed lots of people, ruining many lives along the way.
Bitcoin is not a penny stock. It's not something you buy one day and sell the next day for little gains. You have to be a long-term believer that cryptocurrencies solve huge problems that paper currencies have. Cryptocurrencies will replace some or all of paper currencies in the long run. So people are always saying, oh, am I too late to get into this? No, this dip now gives the opportunity to see massive, enormous gains.
But this BitConnect tragedy isn't the only reason we've seen these declines across the board in cryptos. There's a couple of other significant factors that play a role, like a certain South Korean news story. Recently, a story went viral about South Korea banning the trading of cryptocurrencies. This caused people to sell their assets because they felt without South Korea's presence in the market, prices would tank. So they wanted to be the first ones out the door. But come to find out, this story ended up being false. But by the time it was corrected, the damage was already done.
Are you investing in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies?
I've been buying on the way down, and I'll buy on the way up. So, what's going to happen is more regulation will happen, and that's a good thing, because then the masses will trust that the government's involved, they will possibly be protected, and institutions, which have not yet been exposed to this really, maybe 0.25% of institutions have exposure to Bitcoin, they'll finally start getting in, and this will be a valid investment class.
The next factor causing these dips this week is the recent influx of new money into cryptos. Everyone and their mother has been jumping in on this market in the last month or so, after seeing Bitcoin prices soar and its investors making bank. This in turn brought in not only more professional investors, but also brought in fair weather ones and many casuals. Then when people saw the coins falling in value recently, many started to preemptively cash out, getting scared. This is because they believed the coins would fall even lower than they are now. And with more people panicking, selling at a loss, this caused the price to drop even further. Therefore, many people panic sold because they believed the price would drop even lower than it is now. And this kept happening over and over in each crypto coin and each of their markets. Again, due to the massive growth in cryptos over the past couple months, many people are entering the market and they're new here. So they have not experienced this level of volatility and they're not used to the price crashing, not this much. When the price went downwards, they had no idea what to do in order to minimize their losses. So they just sold out, cashed in their portfolios.
How do you regulate the cryptocurrency market?
It's a fair question. South Korea has hinted that it might want to take on the exchanges themselves. Since at least one person in the South Korean government recanted that idea. I would agree with James that regulation in the end is a good thing for these markets. We saw it happen in Japan in 2017. That was a big boost to the market. Australia as well sort of acknowledged that this is a thing that we want to be a part of.
And the last factor to consider for this recent drop is Bitcoin futures. The expiration date of Bitcoin futures is coming soon. This is a contract that allows people to sell Bitcoin at a specified price in the future. So profit booking is expected from this, causing the prices to tank a little. Now with all that said and put together, I think we have a better understanding of what's going on here in this past week. BitConnect was a scam that fell apart. Many lost their money there, which is truly sad. But I don't think the whole crypto market is going to tank anytime soon. But it is possible. I just don't think this big scare in the media is all it's cracked up to be. As long as you're not invested in BitConnect, you should be good for now. In my opinion, I think some of this anti-Bitcoin hype this week was a tad bit overblown. Most people I heard talk about it didn't even know what cryptocurrencies were, or much about Bitcoins or any of the details. They just heard about some crashes and started spreading the word around, creating hysteria. At the end of the day, it was the shady BitConnect company that took people's money and promised returns that couldn't deliver. And this failure caused a pretty big rift in the crypto community, sure, but I don't think this is the end of the world, not for Bitcoins.
I don't think regulation will create downward pressure if it allows the 300 million people in the U.S. who don't own Bitcoin to suddenly say, oh, this is viable for I need exposure to this asset class. So I think instead what you're going to see is everybody out there who says, are Bitcoins legal, illegal, what's going on? They're going to suddenly see, oh, okay, here's a regulated exchange where I can buy it.
But don't just take my word for it. If you want more information, again, I strongly suggest you guys check out our sponsor, TradeGeniusAcademy.com. They've got the best experts in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, working around the clock, answering your questions in their chat room and reading emails and staying in touch. Trade Genius also has extensive online courses, which will teach you all the ins and outs of trading. And don't forget about their YouTube page, link below, where you can find even more information and lots of cool videos by our boy Bob. What's up, buddy? And don't worry, there's no tricks or swindling here. There's no Ponzi schemes. Trade Genius is information. It's foolproof because they're just providing you with the knowledge, the information, and the tools you need to make money on your own. Well, that ends today's episode. Thanks again for watching No Bullshit, guys. I hope this clears things up about all the Bitcoin news going on this week. If you have any more questions or comments, leave them below. We'll be checking and answering throughout the weekend. Thanks again for watching. Good night, everybody. One more thing, I want to give a special thanks to these amazing Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. You guys went above and beyond the rest, and I love you so much for it. If anyone else wants to donate or join our Patreon crew, link in the description. Thanks again.
I didn't go to the Lakers game because they were playing the fucking Bobcats. And I came here today because I thought this was a session on how my wife could learn to communicate.